Hello everyone, my name is Lisa. So today I'll talk about soil. So first, we're going to talk about humus. So humus is the top layer of soil and it's a very healthy part and it holds nutrients. So humus is the part of soil made of dead plants or animals. So for example, a plant. It has plenty of water to spend, but when it comes to summer and the waters dry out, so that plant won't have any more water. So it dries out and dies. So it decomposes and turns into humus. So the word decompose we'll talk about later. Next, grain, a very small piece of a hard thing. So, for example, grain is sand. When you go out to the beach, you saw lots of sand and water, right? So, actually, those sands are made of big mountains. But the mountains are weathered and maybe large boulders rolled down and then was maybe broke into smaller pieces by other boulders or rocks along the way. Maybe the streams broke them too. So they turned into a very small piece of sand. So sand is a really hard thing, right? It's very hard to break when it's too little, so little that you can barely see them. Next, dig. To make a hole in the ground. So maybe you have a dog. So sometimes maybe you will see holes in the backyard, right? So maybe your dog dig them or some other animals who likes to dig. So maybe the dog dig it for fun or just to bury the stuff it said and thinks was valuable to him. Next, collect. To come or bring together from other places. So, collect. For example, you really want to collect books, right? So, you're at home and the books are from the library. So, you wanted to borrow them or you wanted to buy them from the bookstore. So, if you want to collect them, you go to the bookstore and buy them. So, that's kind of like spending money. But when you like to collect rocks, you go out into your backyard, collect some rocks, bring it back here, and then you have a pile of rocks for your experiments or something. So that is collect. Next, decompose. Decompose is for dead plants or animals to break down. So, for example, an animal lives its whole life as an animal, right? But when it's in its old age, so it dies because some sickness or it's just part of the life cycle. So some small animals will come and eat them, eat the parts that they can eat, not the bones. So they eat the meat and other parts that they can. But sometimes no animals come to eat the parts of dead animals. They just let those dead animals decompose and turn into humus. Next, weather. Weather is to change under the action of the weather. So, for example, a boulder. It was big, right? And it looks kind of boring. So, that's when you see it as a little girl or a little boy. So, when you grow up, and maybe you're in your 32 or 34 age, you will come back to your hometown where you see the boulder. So, when you look at it, it has the most beautiful shape you have ever seen. More beautiful than when you saw it when you were young. Well, sometimes boulders can change quickly because they are weathered, but sometimes they cannot. Next, mixture. Mixture is a combination of different things. So, for example, you want to make a very yummy mixture of nuts, right? You have the sunflower nuts and you have some other peanuts or some other kinds of nuts that you really like. So you want to create a very yummy nut snack, and it has to be really healthy. So you take all the nuts that you like, maybe some of them are raisins too. So you mix them together and then you create a mixture, well, a nut mixture that is a very healthy snack for you to eat every day. So that is mixture. And lastly, pile. Pile is a number of things on top of each other. So maybe maybe your grandparents have cows, right? So they keep cows, so they need grass for the cows to eat. So they go out into the fields and collect grass, but they need it to be dry first. So they put it out in the backyard for the sun to dry them up. So when the grass is dry, your grandparents collect them again and then give them, or some is given to the cows to eat, or they'll be hungry, and some of them are stacked together and they are piled up into some piles so that they can keep them in case the next time the cows get hungry. So that's it. Goodbye everyone. See you next time.